nako naman anak, bakit naman kailangan pang mag-rent ka? Alam mo ba kung sinong pinayayaman mo dyan? Yung mga nirerentahan mo lang ng bahay. Nagsasayang ka lang ng pera, anak, ha?
Nakarinig ka na ba ng ganyang linyahan sa iyong magulang o kaibigan? Sayang ba talaga sa pera ang mangupahan? In this video, let us talk about renting versus buying a home in the Philippines. Hello everyone, I'm Ann Clemente, a licensed real estate broker and a content creator based in the Philippines. Matagal ko ng planong pag-usapan itong topic na to, kaso nauuna ko lang ilabas yung ibang topics. But because I was recently invited to talk about renting versus buying a home at the first Money and Millennials virtual conference, I was able to finally finish my content about this topic. I think this video will really help in your decision making, so please give this video a like and share this with your family and friends who you think will need this video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I have new videos. Anyway, marami sa nakausap kong fellow millennials sa Gen Z ang nakarinig sa kanilang mga magulang, mga kasamahan at kaibigan na sayang sa pera ang mag-rent. Kaya yung iba, napapasubong bumili ng property na hindi naman sila nasisiyahan tirahan. Yung iba naman, kayang bayaran yung monthly payments sa real estate developer pero pagdating ng pag-ibig financing o bank financing, hindi pala kaya yung amortization kasama ang ibang gastusin sa tirahan kaya kailangan ng ipasalo. Choosing between renting or buying a home affects your lifestyle and financial well-being. But how do you make this important emotional and financial decision? Maraming mga kadahilanan na kailangang pagmuni-munihan, but I just chose 3 factors to consider to make your decision-making easier, and those are length of time, living in one place, budget, and control, or LBC for short. The first and most important consideration is the length of time you'll be living in one place. Baliwala kung meron kang kakayanang bumili ng tirahan kung kailangan mo naman lumipat within 5 years, lalo na kung balak mong mag-abroad. Mari kasing mag-iba pa yung gusto mo sa property o magandang meron kang malaking tabing pera para sa emergencies. Renting then is more practical, not unless kung meron kang pamilya na doon titira habang wala ka, o plano mong paupahan yun at uupa ka ng tirahan na mas mura ang renta. When you rent, you have flexibility. Halos lahat ng rental leases ay nagtatagal lamang ng 1 taon. Kaya pag natapos na yung lease mo, pwede ka nang lumipat ng ibang rental property. Having flexibility allows you to try out different living spaces. Malalaman mo kung ano talaga yung gusto mo sa isang tirahan at kung anong klase ng tirahan ang bagay sa lifestyle na gusto mong magkaroon sana sa future. Adjust housing situation based on budget. Pwedeng sa simula, apartment muna ang i-rent mo tapos kapag lumaki na ang sahod, saka na lumipat sa condominium o house and lot. Freely relocate. Kung balak mo lumipat ng trabaho at hindi mo pa alam kung saan ka lilipat, kung nagre-rent ka, madali kang makalipat ng tirahan. Ganun din kung balak mo nang magpakasal. You don't want to have to deal with the hassle of selling your home while looking for a new place to live in. Embrace a digital nomadic or slow-madism lifestyle. If you have a work-from-home arrangement, you can travel and work remotely. For example, work from Boracay kasi may fiber internet at 5G. O kaya maghanap ka ng lugar na may co-working space tulad nitong Common Ground. I'll feature this co-working space in another video, so stay tuned. Going back with renting, you don't have to worry about security and maintenance expenses while you're away from home. Gusto ko actually maging slow nomad, kaya gusto ko mag-rent lang. Kaso alam niyo na, tumatanda na ang ate girl niyo. If you intend to stay in one place for 5 years or longer and have the financial means to do so, buying a home may be the right choice for you. You get a sense of stability which is important for those who have or intend to start a family. Hindi kayo alangan na kailangan yung lumikas pagkatapos ng lease agreement. Pwede kayong magtagal hanggang kailan nyo gusto sa lugar nyo kaya maaari kayong mapabilang sa community. More importantly, when you have a family, having stability allows you to find comfort, store memories, and strengthen bonds in your home. Bago kayo maghanap ng lugar na uupahan o bibilhin na tirahan, kailangan alamin nyo kung magkano ang talagang kaya nyong bilhin. May mga ibang tao kasi sobrang dead set sa dream home nila na hinahayaan nila na more than half ng income nila na pupunta sa monthly mortgage payments lang. Sila ay nagiging house poor. Mayaman sa bahay, hirap sa cash, kaya walang ipon at kapag may emergency, hindi na makapagbayad at nareremata ang property. Kung meron naman kayong specific location na gustong tirhan, pwede kayong gumamit ng price-to-rent ratio. It is a quick and easy calculation that lets you see whether it makes more financial sense to rent or buy a property in a certain location. To calculate the price-to-rent ratio, simply follow this formula. Median home price divided by median annual rent is equal to price-to-rent ratio. Kakailanganin nyong tumingin ng posted listings sa Lamudi, Facebook, Marketplace, Carousel, at iba pa para makita yung presyohan ng mga properties. So, for example, the median home price for a one-bedroom condominium unit in BGC City Center is 11 million pesos, and the median annual rent is 600,000 pesos. 11 million pesos divided by 600,000 pesos ay 18.3. Based on the rent versus buy index, a ratio of 16 to 20 indicates that renting is typically more favorable than buying. But even if the market says to pay more for a high-priced rental than buy, depende pa rin kung magtatagal kayo sa lugar at kaya ng budget nyo. When you rent, there is a relatively low upfront cost. Sa Republic Act 9653 or Rent Control Act of 2009, ang mga landlord ay pwede lamang maningil ng 2-month security deposit at 1-month advance. Illegal silang maningil ng sobra. Yung security deposit binabalik kapag walang damage ang property at nababayaran ang utility bills. So, the security deposit can be used on the next rental place. Yung mga landlord, hindi sila strict sa inyong credit history. May iba pa na walang pake doon basta nakakapagbayad ka buwan-buwan. So, renting is a good way for you to build or rebuild your credit score. Additionally, it allows you to prepare for the financial responsibilities of owning a home. On the other hand, when you buy a home, you have a high upfront cost. Kailangan mo kasing gumawa ng down payment. Non-refundable yan, minsan non-transferable pa kung sakaling magbago ang isip mo. Kapag bibili ng property mula sa isang real estate developer, yung down payment ay kadalasan 10% to 30% ng total contract price. The total contract price is already inclusive of 12% value-added tax and the cost related to the transfer of the property or what they usually call other charges. The other charges range from 4% to 10.5% of the total selling price depending on the real estate developer. Maaring kailanganin nyo ring magtabi ng pera para makover yung administrative cost ng bangko. It is typically 1.5% to 2% of the total loan amount. Pero hindi naman kailangan na meron kayong cash at hand nung amount na yan kasi pwedeng isama yon sa total loan amount nyo. Madadagdagan lang yung monthly mortgage payment nyo. Kapag ang bibilhin nyo naman ay resale property at pumayag yung may-ari na tumanggap ng bank guarantee, kailangan meron kayong at least 20% ng selling price plus at least 4% of the selling price, zonal value, or fair market value, whichever is higher for the transfer expenses, titling registration fees, etc. Kung hindi pumayag yung may-ari, kailangan meron kayong 100% cash on hand, pati nung at least 4%. So just a quick comparison on the upfront cost of renting and buying. If you rent a house with a rental fee of 15,000 pesos per month, ang kailangan mong upfront cost ay 45,000 pesos. Yung 30,000 pesos na security deposit ay babalik sa'yo pagkatapos ng iyong lease agreement kung iniwan mo yung bahay sa magandang kalagayan. If you buy a house with a total contract price of 3 million pesos and say that the real estate developer requires a 15% down payment before moving into the house, you need to pay the real estate developer 450,000 pesos. Pero, yung 450,000 pesos ay mapupunta sa iyong home equity. Home equity is the difference between what you owe on your mortgage and what your home is currently worth. Sa madaling salita, yan ang portion ng pagmamay-ari mo. Lumalaki ang equity mo kapag ikaw ay nagbabayad ng iyong monthly mortgage payments, nagdadagdag ng value-adding home improvements, at kapag yung value ng property ay nag-appreciate mag-appreciate. Ang downside sa home equity ay hindi yan liquid. Ibig sabihin, kapag kailangan mo ng cash, mapipilitan kang ibenta ang iyong bahay o kumuha ng refinancing kung saan mas lalaki utang mo at magbabayad ka ng mas malaking interest. So you need to be financially prepared when you are buying your home. When you rent, the rent expense is fixed for the span of the lease agreement. Mas mahusay kang makakapag-budget dahil alam mo na yung kailangan mong ilaang bayad para sa renta kada buwan. Recommended na yung 30% after-tax monthly income lang ang mapupunta sa iyong renta. You will still have plenty of money left to cover other living expenses and to work toward your financial goals. Maliban na lang kung meron kang milyon-milyong pera sa bangko mo, malamang sa malamang kakailanganin mong kumuha ng mortgage or housing loan para makayanan mong bilhin yung property na magiging tirahan mo. So before you do some serious home hunting, make sure to evaluate your debt-to-income ratio, savings, and assets. At dahil yung mga bangko at ibang financial institution ay titingnan ang iyong credit history kung karapat-dapat kang pautangin, mas okay kung tignan mo yung credit report mo in advance para makita kung merong mali. Check also your credit score so you can work on improving it to ensure that you get the best interest rate and term. The interest and fees you pay over the life of a loan can be significant. Mas matagal kang nagbabayad ng iyong mortgage, mas malaki ang babayaran mong interest. You should be prepared for interest rates to fluctuate during the term of your loan, especially if you have a variable interest rate or if your fixed rate expires. When you rent, you don't need to spend money on the expenses associated with owning a property. Ito ay dahil responsibilidad ng landlord ang gastos sa maintenance at repair. Depende rin sa iyong lease agreement, maaaring hindi mo na kailangang magbayad ng association dues. So, you may get extra money for travel, further studies, entertainment, your own business, for other investments, or be able to save down payment for the home you'll buy. When you buy, there are recurring costs to owning such as annual real property tax, insurances like mortgage redemption insurance and fire insurance, maintenance and association dues, and financing costs, which includes the interest and bank's administrative fees. You have to set 1% of the home's value per year for maintenance, more especially if you plan to sell your home. So for example, the value of your house and lot is 15 million pesos. You need to set aside 150,000 pesos per year for maintenance. If you don't maintain your house and lot well, it will depreciate and it might be harder to sell. Pwede mong ibenta ang iyong tirahan at hindi mo na kailangan magbayad ng 6% capital gains tax. This can be availed once every 10 years. Kapag ikaw ay mangungupahan, hindi mo na kailangang gumastos sa furnishings at major appliances gaya ng bed, refrigerator at iba pa. Malaking tulong yan lalo na kung nagsisimula ka pa lang. A lot of the rental places are either semi-furnished or fully furnished. When you buy, the usual deliverable is standard finish. Merong division, tiles, toilet and bath with fixtures at iba pa, depende sa real estate developer. Pero hindi kasama yung mga furniture at major appliances para maging livable ang iyong tirahan. Kung titingnan natin ang comparison, mapapansin nyo na mas maraming unrecoverable costs kapag bumili ka ng tirahan kasi ikaw ang responsable sa pagpapanatili ng iyong property. So the next time you think renting is a waste of money instead of treating it as a service, it is recommended that you compare the annual unrecoverable cost of the property you would like to rent to the annual unrecoverable costs of the property you would like to buy. Let us say, balak mong umupa ng 2-bedroom condominium sa Quezon City at ang renta ay 30,000 pesos. The unrecoverable cost in a year ay 360,000 pesos. Meanwhile, if a similar condominium unit you wish to rent is being sold for 5,500,000 pesos, the annual unrecoverable cost of the condominium for sale may be the following. 7% financing cost. Ang maaring breakdown nito ay 5.5% interest expense at 1.5% non-finance bank charges base sa loan amount. Nabanggit ko kanina na at least 20% down payment ang requirement ng bangko. So 20% of 5.5 million ay 4,400,000 pesos. 4,400,000 times 7% ay 308,000 pesos. By the way, the more down payment you save, the less financing cost. 1% maintenance and condominium association dues, 55,000 pesos. When you live in a condominium, most of the expense goes to the association dues, which cover the maintenance of the common areas, salaries of the staff, etc. You can ask for a copy of the seller's statement of account to get the specific figure. 0.1% annual real property tax, 5,500 pesos. Para makakuha ka ng mas specific na figure, mag-request ka ng copy ng tax declaration ng property na bibilhin mo. 0.35% insurance, 19,250. I just got this on the average ongoing MRI and fire insurance premium. So, example lang talaga to, okay? The total unrecoverable cost when buying the condominium unit is 387,750 pesos. Based on the figures alone in this example, it is more affordable to rent than to buy. Pero depende pa rin sa tao kung willing ba siyang tanggapin yung 27,750 pesos difference sa unrecoverable cost. For others, it may be a big amount and they prefer using the money for investments that will yield them a greater return. May ibang tao na okay naman sila doon kasi bawat mortgage payment nila, mapapwersa silang mag-ipon ng thousands of pesos na mapupunta naman sa home equity. Yung iba naman, ang pinakamahalaga sa kanila ay control, lalo na doon sa matagal nang nangungupahan. When you rent, you can't invest in nice furniture that is hard to move. Kung merong permanent change na gusto mong gawin sa property, kahit na for improvement, kailangan mong magpaalam sa landlord. Kapag walang written approval, maaring ibawas o hindi na ibalik ng landlord ang iyong security deposit. Maaring singilin ka pa ng dagdag bayad. If ever you get an approval from the landlord, just remember that your claim on the place you're renting begins and ends with the lease agreement. Hindi mo alam kung hanggang kailan mo ma-enjoy yung improvements na ginawa mo sa rental property. Huwag kang masyadong invested, in short. Maliban na lang kung afford mo naman gaya ni Ashley Garcia. Tuwang-tuwa talaga ako sa ginawa niya sa condo na ni-rent niya. Yung landlord ay pwede ring dagdagan ang iyong renta bawat taon. So through the years, your rent may increase beyond your ability to afford it. Mapipilitan kang maghanap ng ibang rental property. The landlord may also opt not to renew the lease contract to you or even sell the property after your lease expires. Hindi mo pwedeng pwersahin yung landlord na i-renew ang lease agreement at wala ring batas na nagsasabi na kailangang i-renew ng landlord ang lease contract. When you need to move, your rental property choices are limited depending on vacancies. Kapag bumili ka, pwede kang mag-DIY projects o i-personalize ang bawat sulok ng iyong bahay. Marami kang mahanap na inspiration sa Homebodies Facebook group. Or better yet, hire a professional designer and a licensed contractor para na matulungan ka sa pagkuha ng permits at wala kang malabag na local building codes o association rules. When you buy a home, since you own it, you can choose to sell it or you can come up with ways of making money out of your property, like renting it out. Additionally, you can use your home to transfer generational wealth. You just need to have an estate plan in place so it can be efficiently passed down to your loved ones. Sa pangkahalatan, maaari mong gamitin ang LBC bilang iyong gabay sa paggawa ng desisyon. At ikaw lang ang makakasagot kung dapat bang mag-rent ka o bumili base sa iyong lifestyle, financial situation, at goals. Some of the guide questions you can use are the following. For the length of time living in one place, do you plan to stay for at least 5 years in your home? For budget, if you pay for the upfront costs, mortgage payments, and home maintenance, do you still have an emergency fund and savings? For control, is having a place to call your own important to you? Kung ang sagot mo ay yes sa lahat ng tanong, maring oras na para ikaw ay magpasya kung alin sa dalawang patok na housing types ang para sa'yo, condominium o house and lot. Meron akong video na nagawa before pero gagawa ko ng 2021 version. So make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss it. Please also give this video a like to support me, and if you have questions, just put them in the comment section below. Again, I'm Ann Clemente, a licensed real estate broker and a content creator based in Metro Manila, Philippines. Thank you for watching Own Property PH.